What's going on? We're back. This is Shonee, the Future Pick'em Show. Exciting week of college football, coming off a traumatic week for the boys, but we've gotten through that. This is what we live for. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that
Goddamn right.
shit. Games like this to come back, to get through the adversity, play your rival, the greatest game in college football, the Red River Shootouts this weekend, amongst many other great games. Today, matchups I think that we could talk about, amongst other things, is obviously the Red River rivalry, Oregon and Indiana. That's spicy, and then A&M in Florida.
Hey, oh
You
wait,
know,
let me get. Let's start there with a quick housekeeping thing that's been bothering me with people. And Josh Pate's one of the main people with this. There's a lot of people out, and PMT does it, who's like, no, we call it the Red River Shootout. That's
yeah,
what it's supposed to be called.
yeah,
Everyone here, I think, including OU fans, everyone calls it the Texas OU game.
yeah.
Literally, no one calls the rivalry, and if they
Or
do, it's
just
like
Red River.
nobody's like, oh, don't, yeah, or just Red River, exactly. But nobody's offended or thinks
No
you're
one
woke
gives
if you
really
call it
that
the
much
Red
of a
River
fuck.
rivalry.
Nobody gives that much
No.
of a fuck. And I think that, yeah, it was originally Red River Shootout, but you got
Yeah.
people, Josh Pate, who grew up in rural Georgia or
Yeah.
whatever. And then you
Yeah.
got PFT from Virginia. And you got people like this. It's like, dude, you were not dialed into the Red River Shootout every year of your life like Texas kids are and everybody else. And that's not just like generationally speaking, like people like that. It annoys me too because, it's not like in the 80s and early 90s this game was always the premier matchup being shown nationwide. If you lived in Georgia or you lived in
Yeah.
Virginia, I don't really think that you were watching the 1988 Red River Shootout, and it's always meant that much to you. Obviously, sorry, let me do not disturb my phone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's always been one of the top premier rivalries in college football, but at the same time, every rivalry in college football in the last 10, 15 years has had a rocket ship put on it because the sports and the growth of everything with the internet and all that stuff and cable or YouTube TV or whatever you want to look at streaming, the access to watch every single game. You could
Yeah.
quad box games, not to get too much on that, but people just gotta there's the pet peeve of mine in general is everybody having to complain about fucking everything. Like no matter
Yeah.
what. It is complaining is so popular.
Well, it's
It's
just like you don't know. It's this
right.
weird joke that these people like try hard media people do where they're like, we say shootout. We still say we don't in the nobody that goes to the game or has ever been involved in the game gives a fuck or is worried
Well,
about
and
any
it's
of
like
that. And
that.
it is called Texas OU. Most people say Red River or Texas OU. So quit
Well, and
trying so
it's
hard.
it's the try hard aspect of the like you're acting like it's this extremely politically correct thing and you're like just not PC.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And so
Yeah,
we're
right. You're
clearly
so cool and
we're
racy.
clearly not PC. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's most
Yeah.
and our entire generation is not politically correct for the most part, right? So
Right.
it's just this reach and grab at that, which is also a popular thing to do to where it's become really annoying to just be like
Yeah.
so proud to not be politically correct, all of a sudden. But I think
And cool.
originally, like, and I don't even know if this story is true, but this is why they, I think, try so hard to do that. They stopped calling it that because all the murders in Dallas, in particular East Dallas, where that game is played. I don't even know if that's the
Yeah.
truth. So they've changed the names multiple times since then. It's usually a sponsorship thing. Like every name to everything is changing. Stadium names that were
Mm-hmm.
legendary have changed. It's not Mile High in Denver anymore. It's not, you don't have real stadium names anymore. Everything is sponsored. So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like, times change. It's really not that big of a fucking deal.
No, and
It
I
just,
hate the try. You nailed it on the head with like they're trying to sound like, yeah, fuck it, I don't follow the rules, I don't care what's It's like, bro, it's actually not that. It's not like you're calling the Indians still, or the
yeah,
Redskins
right.
the Redskins. It's
Exactly
not
that.
that. It's not that deep.
Not that deep. Yeah.
It's not.
And
But
it's like
need to take care of that.
it's your girl football fan thing to say. That's kind of what's annoying. It's like that's something a girl that tells everybody she loves football just as much as the guys and tries really hard to prove how much she watches football. It'll always be shootout to me.
Yeah,
Like that's
I don't
something
give a
they would.
fuck. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
give a
the fucking
fuck. I
in our house.
fucking
We say shootout.
Yeah, we shoot and kill everybody, and we say
Yeah,
fucking shoot and stab and kill. Okay,
yeah.
okay,
We have our guns. We use our
yeah,
Second Amendment
and
in
we
our
don't.
house.
Hey, and we don't dial 911.
I
We
want my
just fucking
Second
shoot.
Amendment protected. God damn it.
Yeah, goddamn right. We ain't never dialing 911 over here. Red River S out. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that's
that's
just
what
been killing me all
I
week,
do
bro.
think that's what
It's been
PFT
so
does say.
annoying.
That's kinda funny,
He
though.
says that. It's funny. No, that one's funny. But it's the people like
So,
Peyton, those people. It's been killing me all week.
well,
I think even Joel
Peyton
Klatt. I was like, bro, it's
Peyton's
you're
so
not
corny
pushing the
about it.
boundaries here.
He's so corny about it. He got back in my good graces just by picking Texas this week, and not really how he did it, but just they did. He's back in my good graces, but like
Yeah,
he's so corny about it. I just gotta call a spade because he has 17 different shows he goes on, which good for him. And he said
right.
that on every single one of them every time. This is the
I
same.
know. That's why
Like,
it was
okay.
like, okay, man. You know what? I'm gonna have to address the nation and put something out because this is getting ridiculous.
Another guy I don't like, and it's for different reasons. That fat limp dick twat SEC Mike or whatever. You know who I'm talking about? He has a podcast,
I
fat as
think
shit. He
so.
just
Um,
he's every SEC radio show podcast kind of guy. Massive Texas
I
hater.
think so. And is he a LSU fan?
Yeah, I think. Well, so there's a SEC Unfiltered guys LSU fan. That's not who I'm talking about,
Oh,
but I
that's
want
who
to
I'm
say
thinking about.
it's the same, like, group of people, and
Yeah,
he's either LSU or Auburn or some shit like that. They all sound and fucking look the same, right?
yeah.
But he's just of course, was an arch hater, of course, thought Texas be overrated. He's on a complete, like, victory tour about it, but just the dumbest fucking guy ever, and for everything that he's right about, his reasoning and why he thought something would happen is never right, and he's wrong about, like, 1,000 other things. He's going on an arch victory
Right.
lap tour, like, even after the athletic thing and everybody's kind of been like, all right, this is ridiculous. He's still doing the victory lap on just like most specifically Arch Manning. And it is just
Hmm.
your I got receipts from 6 months ago. I said Texas 3-4 lost team. I got the receipts. And it's like, you know shit though, you said that. You said that last year too. And like,
Yeah,
of
exactly,
course you
exactly.
said that. Why don't you go there and fucking break down to me what's wrong with Texas and let's see what you come up with
Hmm.
and what they should do to fix it. And it's not just
Yeah.
him. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. There's a lot of guys with their YouTube channels, and I'm not trying to like shit on people's livelihoods. I don't think, I think they'll be fine. But like, there's a lot of people breaking down film with all the fucking answers to every team on YouTube right now. And they do it like bashfully. They question route concepts. They question if
Hmm.
a coach if a coach could do this. Can Sark do this? I've never seen Sark do this cockamamie poppycock stuff that's inaccurate and not true. But my question is like SEC head coaches make millions of dollars and live badass lifestyles. Why are you doing a fucking YouTube show from your home office breaking down film if you have the answer to everything? And you know more about football than these coaches do. The way you imply things, it comes across that way.
And
Georgia, the
that's
film guy, like
yeah.
all of them, they come across.
They're growing. That hybrid of that variant of humans is growing.
Oh
It
yeah,
started with a couple little guys, and now it's like,
yeah,
well, that's cool. I'll do this. And we talked about this before, bro. Like anyone can do that. If you know how football works and you know the rules, you can turn on the tape, stand in front of the TV, and go, look, he threw it here, and he should have thrown it there.
yeah,
Look, his feet weren't set.
yeah,
So, like, the idea that these guys are seeing things that other people aren't seeing is the annoying part. It,
yeah,
it kills me. And they truly believe, like, Sark's missed this. I think Brian Kelly's missing this. I
yeah.
think Lane might have. It's no,
Why is
you're
he looking
just.
on? Why isn't he reading from the right to left?
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up, dude. Why
Yeah.
don't
And
you
this is
go
where I
coach
want to
him up?
get. We want to get right here. You see, he's right here, and we
Yeah,
don't teach that. We teach him to
yeah.
quick,
And we play.
quick.
Hey, we bring the juice. We bring the juice. Shit. Just every
Uh-uh.
cliche high school coaching. It's like, no, I know you played
That's
high
what it
school
is.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played
It's
in high
you know
school.
what? It's the in between of guys who are like high school coaches, but they think they're too good for high school, but they can't
Yeah.
make it in college, so they settle with that. That's 100% what it is.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is a variant. It's a contagious, and they all cling
It's
together,
growing.
and they all
Yeah.
comment on each other's shit, and
Yeah.
they all sound the same. They have the same like
Coach
deep,
speak.
hard ass
Yeah.
voice. They're wearing new era flat built. Like they stopped progressing in their
Hmm.
fashion in 2008. Like they're all the same fucking guy, same guy.
Yes.
Wearing balance bands for sure. They for sure got caught up in the balance band
Yeah,
scheme.
they have fighting necklace on.
But anyways, let's get into some matchups. You got any life stuff to update people? My fucking I actually do have one. I forgot about it. My car, dude. Friday night, I
Welcome to
I
the
went
club.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, you're not the only one with a piece of shit car. Friday night, I was out late, and I came back home, sit at home for a little bit, wanted some sour gummy worms, some sour Skittles and shit, went to the gas station, started off my car, put the gas this is probably 2 AM. Start filling up my car, realize gas station's closed, obviously, so, like, can't get in there. Go back, try to turn on my car, and when I tell you this motherfucker was dead, it was as dead as I've ever seen a car in my life. No lights, no shit, nothing, right? Call up Papa Shoney.
What?
He comes and meets me at the gas station at, like, 2 AM with his jumper cables and all that shit. Tried we think we found the battery, right? Like, because there is a plus and negative sign under the hood. Nothing's
Yeah.
happened at all, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is fucked up." Papa
Nothing's
shot
happening when he's trying to jumpstart it?
nothing. There's nothing,
Uh,
right?
yeah.
So, of course, he knows how to fix everything in the world, but never fixes anything, and "Well, that's your fucking alternator. Get a new car." And I was like, "Alright, well, hold on. Let's just take me home and, like, I'll fucking tow this, whatever, tomorrow,
Yeah.
and let's figure it out." So I towed it back to the place. Found this guy where I live that, like, comes to your house and looks at foreign cars, because it's
Yeah.
the most that's fuck my car and everything
Right.
that's
Yeah,
so
that's the
hard to,
shit
like
part about it, yeah.
yeah, like, changing the tire is
Yeah.
and it's miracle work, right? And, so anyways, he comes by, like, 2 days ago. Turns out he's like, "No, it's definitely your battery, probably," and he's like, "But the battery's in the trunk of these cars, it's not in the front." So, you have to, like, climb through the trunk you couldn't open because the fucking battery was dead. And so you get
Oh
to
my god.
climb through the back seat, was like, "Yeah, your battery's, like, 5 years too old. I don't know how the fuck you've been driving on this." Whatever. And so I bought a new battery, got it in. He did it right there in my driveway. It's fucking fine now, right? But that goes to show, you know, old guys, and this is no disrespect, but they got so much unsolicited advice. And I could be 50 years old, but he's still kicking. It's gonna be like the answer to all of it, and sometimes could be the worst advice fucking ever. He
Yeah.
wanted me to buy a new car. Instead, it cost me $300 to fix, and got an argument with me about getting a diagnostics done. It's like, "Oh, it's fucking stupid." Like, "That's fucking stupid. Don't pay for diagnostics, fucking piece of shit car."
Yeah, I know exactly what's going on, and then what do
Yeah,
you know, you just $180 later, you have a new
yeah,
battery and
it's
everything's
fine.
perfectly fine.
I'm back to bumping poo shiesty.
That had to hurt his ego for sure.
Didn't phase it. Didn't phase it either. No,
I should have known that. Yeah, I should have
no,
known that. That's not gonna get through to him.
whatever.
I
We
don't
looked up
though.
car companies.
I don't
So
have any
subscribe to the podcast so Nolan and I can get some nicer cars.
yeah, no shit, please. Get our shit
But
together.
nonetheless, let's get into some matchups. We'll start top. Red River rivalry obviously was a really, really shitty week for us. Last week was as horrific in a lot of ways as you could get. And from like a scary scale, you know,
Right.
the worst thing outside of just having a completely incompetent quarterback, which contrary to popular belief, we don't have that, is flat out being food up front on the line of scrimmage. And that's what we were last week. I had a horrifically traumatic week, so stressed out about this. I shit you not. This isn't podcast joke. I don't even think it's that funny. I got text messages to you for receipts. I woke up 5 a.m., like stress woke up, started watching Oklahoma Kent State on Tuesday. And it was I had already watched Ohio State, Texas, every Texas game, looking at that left guard position just get face fucked over and over and over again, and was like, "Okay, fuck." Go back, watched Auburn, Oklahoma, and was like, "This is fucked.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a problem." And I knew that,
Yeah.
right? Like I already knew Oklahoma's good up front. I already know that Brent Venables is very exotic, and he's gonna confuse you at the line of scrimmage as it is. But then you go watch it and you watch what happened on Saturday and you really get into being terrified. A couple days have passed since then. I've calmed down a little bit. I've gone from Nick Brooks can never get on the fucking football field again to being like, ideally, I'd like to see Cole Hudson there, and I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I think that's a very big option. But at the same time, um, it's really just gonna come down to Saturday. I'm not gonna even mail it in on Nick Brooks. There's a lot of linemen that have gotten their first significant amount of action against a good team that get completely dominated like that and
TJ
baptized.
Campbell against
Right,
Baylor. Remember that?
right.
My God.
Yep. Get
Terrible.
baptized, and then it's
Yeah.
kind of what's needed to step forward. And I'm not saying I have 100% confidence that'll happen, but these guys were recruited to play at Texas and chosen and given money over a lot of guys. And it's the hardest position to evaluate. You are going to miss on guys because in
Right.
high school, if you're the size of a D1 offensive lineman out of high school, you don't get a serious look until you get to college and you're playing guys as big as you.
Right.
You're blocking 170-pound defensive ends in high school. Like it's not, and you're 300 pounds. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's tough to evaluate, anyways. But I know we didn't miss on 7 guys. I think there's a pride thing. I think there's a growing into being a man thing. Maybe there was a little timidness. You're playing these 363-pound guys. They're kind of whooping your ass. And like I said on the last show, shell shocked, and you went into kind of shell shock
Right.
mode for the rest of that game, and it couldn't get better. I know there was a coming to Jesus on Monday, as everybody would assume, but Sark has already talked about that. And then you just move on and you
Mm-hmm.
practice and you have a good week.
Yeah.
It can't possibly be as bad as it was last week. That's one thing, right?
No, it's impossible.
And
I don't think it's
two,
literally possible.
there's other things. The run game, a lot of that, man. Same with the pride situation. Running backs have to make more plays too. Like there's times that
Yeah.
there was blocking there was running lanes, there's options, there's bad vision, and then there's just like not tough runs. Same with pass protection with running backs. It's just a flop of a week. And it is very easy to look at that, look at Oklahoma's defensive line, look at the hype Oklahoma has, look at John Mateer's probably playing and really bail out on Texas. And don't get me wrong, there was moments this week where I felt like, yeah, we're fucked.
Sure. I
There is
still
still
feel that at
something. There's an
times.
element there of Kyle Flood's feet will be to the fire on Saturday. Sark's feet, to an extent, will be to a fire on Saturday. And I'll tell you something. Sark's buyout is like $100 million. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that ain't we ain't there yet. Yeah.
But Kyle Flood could fucking be gone,
Oh,
and
100%.
there's that element that's legit. But
Yeah.
I do have faith in him. I have faith in the coaching stuff. I have faith in the players to have a lot more pride than that, and that could sound a little pitiful. And in some ways, it should feel that way. But I think that like I've said before, I've been around football and sports my entire life. I've seen guys put out performances that they look like the worst player of all time at their sport and at their position, and become really, really great football players or baseball players or basketball players, right? And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's going to happen immediately, but I think it'll be a lot better. I do think we'll find some running success. I think Archie Manning's going to do really well if the opportunity presents itself and he doesn't get pressured 36 or 40 times. And I do believe in our defense. But nonetheless, I think this will be a classic Red River game. I think it could come down to the wire. I could see both sides. I know nobody in the world thinks that Texas could beat Oklahoma by 2 touchdowns or more or whatever, especially if Mateer plays. I think there's a possibility that happens. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
predicting it. And I think there's a
Right.
possibility Oklahoma does that to Texas. There are questions, but I think it's more likely this will be a damn good game because Texas backs against the wall. Oklahoma smells blood in the water. They think they're really confident in themselves and, they're undefeated right now and they kind of feel like it's their chance for their revenge of last year. But at the same
Yeah.
time, people are still forgetting just the talent on this Texas team. And I know that there's a lot of guys, oh, I don't know if they have good weapons. That's stupid as shit. I think Texas has some of the best receivers in the
Yeah.
country. They are torching guys that are really fucking good. Really good. They did it to Ohio State. They did it to Florida. They're a lot closer. And I don't know that it is this year. It might be year before the year. But I think Saturday will show us a lot. And I do think we'll leave Saturday proud of the fellas.
Yeah, I agree with the last part. I agree with most of what you said because it is. I mean, a lot's up in the air right now. Throughout the week, you look at it from a X's and O's standpoint, it doesn't look too good. Period. It just doesn't. The Mateer playing or not, and everyone said this, so I hate that I'm saying it now, but it really doesn't make a shit. That's not what's going to determine the game. It's going to be Texas offense versus OU's defense. Our defense is going to show up ready to play. If our defense didn't show up ready to play, that OU offense is not very good. It's just not, and not only is it not very good, what they're good at on offense, we're great at on defense. So that pass game bullshit, intermediate,
One
not being able
dimensional.
to run the ball, that's just not right. One dimension, it's not going to work. So that gives me a lot of hope from a schematic standpoint and a matchup standpoint. But that's the thing, man. It's the Red River. And the one thing that worries me about the blowout on our end is that we whooped their ass last year. And so that that they're looking at this like, man, you don't get these many chances where you face a team that's down. And of course, from their perspective, they think we legit suck. And that's not in the locker room, but the media.
Mhm.
And so they are like licking their chops. This is the year to get back. They beat us 49-0. They beat us 34-3. This is our fucking chance. And Mateer will probably play, and I don't know if it's smart with his hand. I don't know. I really don't give a
I
shit,
really
like I
don't,
said.
and I'm not saying it, like, as a
No.
fear thing because I don't know if we said this on the show last time or if I just said it to you personally, but, I think Texas fans across the board genuinely want him to play, and for this reason more than
Yes.
anything,
No
because
doubt.
if you beat Michael Hawkins, we have to go all the way till Georgia before we prove anything to anybody, right? If you, lose to Mateer, it's a ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, we know this ain't a year,
We suck.
and
Yeah.
next year's what we focus
Yeah.
on, and we look to improve, and it's just one of those seasons, and that fucking sucks. But then if you beat Mateer and Oklahoma, and it looks good or it doesn't look good, doesn't matter. This is one of the
Yeah.
most hyped up teams in the country, and for
They're a
sure
top
the
five
most
team.
hyped up quarterback in the country. If you
Yeah.
serve him up his worst game of the season or worst game that you've ever seen him have or one of those things, then it's all good and dandy. And this is still the fucking year. And the SEC is still there for grabs for us. And we move forward, right? So like I think Texas fans in general want him to fucking play. Like it's not there's
No
nobody
doubt.
that's looking for a bullshit win because Michael Hawkins is just terrible, you know?
And it's not like that's not. I mean, I think I've said it for ages. I think Hawkins is legit one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever watched at this level. But that doesn't make a shit in this game. It's gonna be their defense versus our offense. And the thing is, I'm not looking for our O line to bounce back. I'm looking for us to win in spite of it. Because even
Right.
if they're ready to go, playing with a chip on their shoulder, playing their ass off, this Oklahoma D line is as good as a D line Oklahoma's ever fucking had. I mean, they're
Yeah.
really fucking good up front. Big, physical, fat. They're good. They're just really good. So that's not going to be the recipe for success. I think, and I text you about it, and I hate getting like, I hate not having logics behind some of the things I predict, but sometimes you got to roll with it. That article, man. And here's my thing though too. One, people need to stop feeling sorry for Arch because he doesn't give a fuck about some dork at
Well,
the
it's like
Athletic
you
that
don't
wrote an
it's
article.
almost an
He
annoying
doesn't.
thing too
It means
because like
nothing to him.
like it was this clickbait article for sure and rage bait thing, and I think the author got what he wanted. I think he's a scummy fucking piece of shit. Just look
Of
into him,
course,
and
right?
that's what he does. But it's almost I almost found myself annoyed, like what you were saying with the Red River Shootout thing, with the over kind of what you're saying coming back to Arch's defense. Oh, A&M and Sooner fans are defending it. No, fuck you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I got
I
over
was
with
gonna
your
mention
fucking
that earlier.
defense,
It's
bitch.
so
Like,
cringe and
go,
weird.
go, go, go worry about Marcel Reed and
Yeah.
worry
All
about
right,
Mateer
guys.
and worry about
Even
all
as an
that.
A&M fan, this is not
Yeah,
fair.
I
It's
hate
like,
that
okay,
always.
just
I
that's
always hate
just
that.
weird.
That's so
Shut
corny.
up.
That's so
You don't
corny.
need to
Shut up.
say that part.
And
You don't need
this
to say that part.
guy wrote the article because all of you were doing this to Arch all year long with every throw. You know what I mean? Every single throw has been micromanaged. Every snap he takes is micromanaged by everybody. The
Yep.
announcers in the booth, the announcers at halftime, the fans, the rival fans, the Indiana and Iowa fans, everybody around the country has been locked in on this guy since his first day he stepped in on campus. Arch is already, I think we saw that last week. The fuck it and fuck everybody and all of that is well set
Yeah.
into him. And I think it's set into the rest of the team. I think you'll see nastiness. And that's the bounce back I want to see. I don't anticipate us going and dominating Oklahoma's front. I agree with you. It's one of the best fronts they've had. It's like they had Tommy Harris and like multiple
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
round
Yeah.
draft picks and shit. That those teams and defenses were better. And by the way, teams have pushed like there's success on Oklahoma's defense out there that's been had against offenses I don't think
Yeah.
as good
They get a
as
little
us.
overzealous too.
They
I think
very
that's
much
their
are.
biggest problem across
Sark
the
has
board. Yeah.
killed them for that for 3
Yep.
straight years.
Yep.
Killed them for that. A lot of explosives in the run game and the
Yep.
pass game with how much they overcommit to things, right? And especially if you see a little schematic change, there could be a boost in that. Like just
Right.
you don't know what we're going to come out and look like this week. Um but in general, I think Oklahoma and Texas are a lot closer than what people think they are. And like I mean that in a
Yeah.
way
I mean, look
like
at the line.
Oklahoma fans think it's a fucking joke and this is going to be a cakewalk and yada yada yada, and a lot of national media is going to hop on that for the reasons that we've all stated in the matchup situations, right? But the game's going to
Hmm.
be played on the field, and every game takes a life of its own. Oklahoma on offense can't run the fucking ball, and their offensive
Right.
line ain't nothing to write home about either. Now, I will say they've done a better job not letting guys cross their face without touching them, and like they're picking up and
Right.
doing the right
There is
things in
improvement.
pass
Yeah.
protection. But I do think we will get to the point where we do the right things in pass protection. Whether you win the rep or lose the rep, that'll just happen individually. But a lot of the mistakes last week is like passing guys off, not touching them. Just it's offensive line mental mistakes. That's been plaguing the offense all year long. But and that has to the coaches and everybody. They got to figure that out. But if they do, that's why the spread is what it is, and that's assuming material plays. And whether it jumps to Oklahoma being favored one and a
It
half
is.
or not, yeah, I saw that. Doesn't fucking matter. It's 1.5. They're telling you if
Yeah.
material
And
plays,
it's
we look at this as a pick 'em as Texas is struggling this fucking much. Like, tell you right now,
well
if
because
Texas
it's a
flicks, like it
It's
would
the
be seven
rivalry
and a half.
game, bro. We've been watching
Yeah.
this game our whole life. We watched Tyrone Swoops. We watched Case McCoy win. We watched Sam Ellinger beat Kyler Murray and that loaded team. You really do it, and it doesn't go that way for every rivalry, even though they say it. But it really is a throw out the books, throw out everything, and that's why, like, I think the biggest key for Texas is Arch is going to have to be Superman one way or another. Whether the running game is decent or not, Arch is going to have to be Superman because he's going to be under a ton of pressure. And this defense is going to throw everything they got at him. There's no doubt about it. And we got to make a play on special teams. Jeff Banks
I
has
agree
got
with
to
you. Well,
get
special
deep in his
teams
bag
turnover battle
and
needs to be
be
won.
all about ever aggressive to the point to where fuck it, we get whatever it is, we have to let it fly on special teams, whether that's reverses, whether that's getting after block punts, whether that's a new field goal block that we haven't tried out yet. You got to throw everything out this game because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need those defensive touchdowns. You're gonna need the special teams touchdowns, or better yet, to swing the field. So I think that the biggest key is Jeff Banks let it rip. A couple of years ago, that's what kept us in the game when we got down early, and Malik Muhammad blocked and recovered the punt in the end zone, and that got us right back in it. So it's like this game is so momentum swings crazy. It's hard to
Well, the
even put into
most of
words
any
unless you've
game
been there.
because
It's
the
it's
half and half time.
so shocking. Everything means so much more. A first down feels like it means so much more. A turnover feels enormous. And so you got to capitalize. We're going to have to break off some big plays because I don't think even if our defense is underwhelming, they can't touch 20. They can't. They're not good enough on offense, and their Mickey Mouse coordinator is not going to do shit against PK. So that alone is I'm not worried about. It's just the turnovers. We got to limit the turnovers on our end. We got to limit the 3rd and 16s, the punting from the 8-yard
Yeah,
line, the punting
that's the
from
whole
the.
team.
You gotta play smart, conservative at times, but then you got to take your shots. And I know that all kind of may sound a little mumbo jumbo now put together, but that's the key is being smart with the ball and taking shots when they're there because they may not come back. So
Yeah, I
we'll see,
think that
man. But I'm fired up at this point
obviously,
in the week.
yeah, momentum swings are always massive in this game, and I think obviously the turnover battle and special teams is as important as anything in this game. But I'm gonna say this: 2 of the last 3 years, this was a 16.5 point spread for Texas, right? I think the year
Yeah.
that we lost to Gabriel, we were 7.5 point favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Texas didn't have like absolutely miserable examples on offense in the pass protection and then Arch's 2 bad games, this would be 7.5, 8 point Texas favorite.
No doubt.
Oklahoma thinks that this is like last year, but reversed. They do. Their fans do, at least. I don't, their
Oh,
locker
yeah.
room, I think their locker room understands that this will be a battle,
Right. They
um,
watch the tape.
but their fans absolutely think that like this is last year and the 1.5 spread is too ridiculous and yada yada yada. And it's not. And that's the thing. It's the power index wise, Texas is as talented as Ohio. They're top 3 in the country still, just from
Right.
a talent scale
Anybody.
on their roster and all of those lists that you see. Texas top 3 in the country. Oklahoma's like 40th. Like it's not even
Yeah.
close on a scale of like when you look at team to team, freshman to senior, how many guys will play in the NFL roster to roster, Texas still has that heavy advantage. What Oklahoma fans have to pray is the communication issues continue to happen in pass protection. The mental errors continue to happen in pre-snap and putting you in 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 2nd and 20
Yep.
all day long, taking the run game away, which is, by the way, had as much to do with any of the pass rush as anything, playing behind the chains.
No
That's
doubt.
you're
Yep.
gonna unleash every pass rush on you, blitz sims, everything like that's when you unload shit on passing downs, right?
Yep.
And so getting out of that will help a lot. That's going to be, I promise, the coaching staff, the team, and all that's a major focus offensively. But when you're looking at rosters, you better fucking pray Texas doesn't click this game. You better,
It's kind of a
because
flip.
it's
It's
not.
kind of like Florida last week, you know?
Yep.
It's like
What
this
we were saying
team,
about Florida.
I get
What
it.
we said about
I
Florida.
get it.
Yep.
But damn
Yep.
it, they're talented, and they're talented all over. Not
Yep.
talented on the defensive line, not talented in the receiving core, all over. That's why Texas is still so dangerous.
Well, and there's an element Florida had this, and this is why I was so scared that they were so close to clicking, was because when you see guys on both sides, even in the midst of struggles and disappointment, you lost a couple games, whatever, and you see them continue to improve and continue to play on a high effort scale. Like, I know we're pointing out effort. I think there was a lot of mental stupidity and just freezes, but the team fought their ass off to win that game in Gainesville last week. And that's not something I
Yeah.
typically whatever. But what it does is I know how talented they are, and when you see that, it's like that it will get there. And needs to happen now for a chase to the playoffs, but it
No
will.
shit. Yeah.
Like by November, that's why I made the joke about if it's the year before the year, then we're about to be the worst spoiler team you've ever wanted to play in your life by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because when they click, that's not going to be fun at all if you're playing for a spot in the SEC championship or you're on the teetering level of the top 12 and you got to play Texas. That's going to fucking suck. And we will spoil some shit. But obviously, that's not what we
Yeah.
want. I think that this game, and there's a reason you're seeing a lot of people pick Texas. It's that same thing that, look, team that talented back against the wall, they might just never click. But oftentimes they do. And you don't want that wounded animal being that fucking good.
Right.
And
And
that's
even
what
if it's for 1 week, it's like this teams like this are so dangerous week in and week out because there's going to be 1 or 2 games where everything clicks for them. And it may not be consistent, but they're too good to not have. And look, this week's the week. And I'm not just saying it because it has to be. Rivalry game, coming off a horrible loss. This is the kitchen sink. You don't need any more motivation than you got. Everything's going to be thrown at Oklahoma this week. So we're going to have an answer whether this team's got it or they don't. And I really
I'll
think
say
that they're going to
this.
show themselves this Sunday or
If
this
you show a
Saturday.
lot of improvement on Saturday, that's a hell of a gonna be a lot of recruits at that game and stuff like that. That's a
No
hell of a
shit.
recruitment tool. Look, this is what we can adjust. We can develop all of that stuff. And last but not least, you already brought it up, but I do think legitimately 17 days after a thumb surgery, that is flirting with danger right there.
Throwing hand. It's
Really,
like, what do you,
I really,
I don't know, man. I don't know that he's a
one
better
of those.
option.
That's one of those where I'm like, oh, I get it. You're undefeated. This is you. You're feeling really, really good. But this is the Brent Venables stuff
Yeah.
that I talk about. Like, all right, like that's. And I'm not even. I want him to play, but 17 days after thumb surgery, I don't really know, man. Like
Right. And you are
and it's a
undefeated. So you
thumb.
can, and
Like
I get it. You don't want to drop it, but you can drop one. You don't need to rush your quarterback
you
back
really
with
can.
this gauntlet coming ahead
Yeah.
and have him out for the rest of the year because he got his hand knocked off by Colin Simmons in a game that you guys won by 14 because we couldn't get to the 50-yard line. And that's just how I'm thinking if I'm going to play devil's advocate. It's like, what do you really need to? And they will.
Yeah.
They will. Of course they
No,
fucking will.
for sure.
Of
For
course
sure.
they will.
And where
So
my
it makes
question comes,
sense.
and I'm not a genius, I'm not a doctor, but thumb in the throwing hand. I've had thumb injuries. Like that's a throbbing, nagging nerve type like pain right there.
Mm-hmm. Fucking hurts.
That's just where it's like I don't know. And if you've even jammed a thumb or had a thumb, like the how easy it is
Can't do shit.
to restart where you fucking started at, hitting it against something, whatever, and fucking
Hell
that's
yeah.
where so it's all right, we'll see. But I hope he does play. And if he plays and he struggles, it'll all be because of the thumb. So that's kind of a
Yeah,
built-in thing
they
there
got
too.
their built-in excuse.
Other game, Oregon, Indiana. I'm excited about this one, man. I want to. I think personally, it's not on my card. I am gonna bet Indiana personally, because I want to root for them heavy, and I want them to win. I think they can win. I do think Oregon's better. I think Oregon's got more dudes, but I do think Indiana's closed that gap a little bit between those where they were last year. roster-wise between, like, them and an Oregon or them and Ohio State or
Yeah,
whoever.
I
Name the team,
agree.
right? They're chipping away at it. Did you watch the Bussin' with the Boys Josh Pate show?
I'm not. I just started before I left work. I'm
Did you see
20
the Will
minutes in.
Compton clip of where he
I
doesn't
did see
know?
the clip. I
The
saw
the
the clip. Yeah, yeah, that
I
was
think
pretty
that is
funny.
Signetti, for sure. I think that is Signetti. It's just I'm Signetti
No,
Howie.
no, it's just
Dude,
some
I think it
frat
is.
lord.
I think it's Signetti all day. How did he get his number? One, that quick. That quick. Like, Will posted that show and the clip to his Instagram and said he got texted, like, pretty shortly after that. And, there was some stuff in there where it's like, I don't know how you know that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And
It
it's like,
was pretty funny. Yeah,
it's how Signetti talks too. Like being like,
the Sigs at the
the
end
wife
were the
calls
part that
me
got
Big
me.
Daddy. His wife calls me Big Daddy. That's a Signetti style. I need to find something to hate because that's what he does. I need to find something to
Yeah,
hate somebody for. So that checks out. Like if you're doing a cross examination here and like saying, okay, does this sound like this fucking guy? Right? That checks out. He does that. Every game, I'm gonna find a reason, even if we're 70 points better than a team, find a reason to hate these coaches and hate these players. So that
yeah.
bang, right? And then it is funny that all he does is recruit 5 stars. And what did he say? Like it was like he majors in charisma or majors in whatever and
Oh,
minors
something
in the
as a
second
PhD.
half.
I don't know.
Yeah, minors in
Yeah, I
second half
missed it. I know what you're
adjustments.
talking about.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
majors in hype, minor and second half adjustments. So something like along those
yeah.
lines. And it might not have been him, but I think that there's an interesting element here. Penn State goes and gets their ass beat by UCLA. And I know not everything's apples to apples. I say that in football all the time, and that's a letdown spot. And I think Drew Aller fucking sucks. But I did say, watching that Oregon game, they win a nail biter in State College in overtime. And the narrative after that was that they just went and beat the fuck out of Penn State. And they might be the number one team in the country. And they got the Heisman Trophy winner and yada, 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 yada. Signetti is feasting off of that in his locker room and with his players. And it might not matter because this is Jimmy's and Joe's, but this is the first real, because I should say it's the first test to see the Jimmys and Joe's in Oregon that they have because Penn State showed that they're just equally as
Yeah,
talented and equally as fast and
right.
big and strong, right? But Signetti, game plan wise, ain't gonna be like limp dick James Franklin. You know what I mean? And he's
No,
gonna have some shit to at least
hell
early
no.
on, kind of like Ohio State blew him out last year, but it was a 1.5 quarter game, right? Like he'll at least have that,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
see
yeah.
from there. I'm just interested. It's a fascinating game. I'm sure you like Oregon. I think that's the smart thing to like. But I definitely do want to see some drama, some clashing of Signetti and Lanning because they're both
Fuck yes.
emotional fucking
That's the
guys.
main priority.
I
Yes.
need to see it. I need to see it. And I don't want to
That's
just
the
see
main
it.
priority is them two chirping. Them something a Bielema Shane Beamer situation with them would hit like absolute crack. So I need Signetti. And bro, and it's gonna come from Signetti because he knows how tightly wound Lanning is. And Signetti's very chill, cool, but cocky. And Lanning's very like intense and cocky. So
Yeah.
should be quite the clash. And there's already well, I was thinking of a different thing, but there's one, I was on the same page as you with Indiana, and I want to take them because I want them to win, and I do have a feeling about it. Uh, I just don't know. I think you're going to
Oh, I'm
find
with
out
you.
a lot about each of these teams because Oregon, on paper, at home, first big home
Mhm.
game, they
Yeah.
talk about this Auschwitz Stadium like it's impossible to
Auschwitz,
win
yeah.
at.
Yeah.
And so then beat their ass. So then beat their ass. Show me that Dante Moore is a cleared away number one overall pick because he won a game against a good team, and that's how it works in this league now. Show me that. Show me all this other bullshit you've been talking. But man, it feels like a
Well,
Signetti has
Cincinnati's got a
arrived game.
much better quarterback this year, dude.
He's due. He's
He's
due is what it
upgraded
is,
at
actually.
quarterback too. That kid's a fucking player,
I
dude.
like the quarterback. He's a
He's a
dork,
stud.
and he's awesome. He's
Yeah.
a
No,
total
he's like
dork, but it's
Signetti.
awesome.
He's like
Yeah,
Signetti.
a little
So
bit.
that's the
He
thing. He
does got a
found
little
his
Signetti
dog,
in him.
like when the dog mimics
Yeah,
the owner,
yeah.
like he felt like your dad's dogs. But I do want to see the drama. I
My
don't want to
dog.
see the coaching drama and just Stan Lanning dancing on his grave. I've seen that against
No,
Oklahoma
please,
State.
God, no.
So
No,
against Oklahoma
please, we
State and
can't.
Colorado. Like I don't need to see it with Indiana. I
No, we
want to see
can't.
it because in my opinion, if Oregon wins by a field goal or a touchdown, Nettie wins this, then Blanning will celebrate. But in my mind, I'm like, let's see, buddy, because that's if you struggle against this Indiana team, Ohio State will stomp this Indiana team out, I think. Right? So that's another element of
Yeah.
this. Like Oregon gets put in that category. And I get it. Dan Lanning's been good. He's had some big game wins and yada, yada, yada. But I see it as you couldn't beat DeBoer. He owns you in the Pac 12. Ohio State owns your ass. Your fucking win cancels out last year. The whole world saw who was way
Which, by
better.
the way, DeBoer owns everyone now. I
He
don't
does. He's under
understand.
the big dogs, the big dogs. And that
Yeah,
game,
exactly. And then he loses
that
to the
game's
losers.
fucking fascinating too, though, this week, by the way. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
I just want to see the drama. This is one of those. If Texas wins this game, I'll be so happy to watch the 6 o'clock slate. If not, it'll be purely hate watching
Yeah,
everything,
who
and
cares?
and I'll still be
Yeah.
hate watching
Life won't
anyways.
matter.
But it'll be sweet if Texas can win, take care of business, and we can watch those games and hope for chaos in those games because we don't want
Yeah.
chaos in Red River. Everybody else does. We want to go win by 20 points. Like that's what it's be
We want
fucking
to we
calm. I want,
deserve that.
yeah. Right.
We need it. We desperately need a peaceful Saturday. And it won't happen, but fuck it. What do you do?
The other game, A&M Florida. And now, if you want to talk about Missouri Bama, I'm going to talk about that. It's on my card, so I'm going to save my
Yeah,
slate for
whatever.
that. But whatever.
Yeah, let's just talk.
Um,
Yeah, we can get to that.
A&M Florida. This is another interesting game. Two
I'm gonna take
talented
a piss
fucking
though. Go ahead.
Rockets. I think that A&M front to back, on both sides of the ball, is as complete as any team in the country. And I think the same about Florida. The two things I look at both teams in a very similar fashion. Quarterback position is your question. Now, Marcel Reed hasn't had the DJ Lagway moments and totally thrown games away. The 5 interception game against LSU, multiple multi-interception games against Power Four competition. Lagway played good last week with an interception or two. Could have had more. So getting into that, like I definitely think Lagway's still capable of throwing a game away, especially in an environment like College Station. But remember, Lagway came down to A&M in Florida. I'm well sourced on this from the A&M side. Uh, I think just Florida offered an outrageous amount of money for Lagway. I know that's crazy to hear when A&M's in the conversation that they're talking about somebody kind of outbid them, if you will. But his finalists were A&M and Florida. So a lot like Texas last week, where Texas didn't really recruit him because Arch Manning was committed and he kind of fell in a class where it didn't work out. He's a Texas kid. He chose Florida over A&M, and there's that element to it. But I think the key factor here for Florida, and you could say the key factor for A&M, is A&M last week was able in pretty much every game are able to flip the switch, lean on a really, really good running game, and their offensive line's damn good. We knew it'd be damn good coming into the season. It looks really
Yep.
good right now.
As advertised.
And they're able to do that and just lean on teams until they beat them because they're better than them. This Florida defense will be able to force you to beat them with Marcel Reed. And that's what I'm watching. And I know A&M's defense plans to
Yep.
do the same thing, but my question is, styles make fights. And I look at the styles here. A&M has been leaky in their run defense. They have a good defensive line. Torian York's a fucking
Yeah.
monster. Like I get all that. They've given up a lot of explosives in the run games. And that running back in particular against big, badass running backs, Jeremiah Love, Price at Notre Dame, the UTSA kid is a big ass kid. And Jaden Ball is a big, badass running back behind a badass offensive line, right? And so
Yeah.
that's interesting. If they're able to do that and then flip the script on A&M and say, no, 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 you got to beat us with that quarterback. That's what's interesting. The reason I favor Florida's ability to do that over A&M is just because those massive hog molly defensive tackles. When you got them, I've watched it at Texas for the last 3 years. When you got them, they got them. When you got them, you can kiss the fucking run game goodbye for the most part, unless they're just playing
Yeah.
light on. Now, if A&M goes and runs it down their throat, A&M's got a shot to go win it all. But
Yeah,
I
then
do.
we're
I don't
fucked.
think. I don't think they can win a conference or championship with Marcel Reed. And I'm not trying to be passive or whatever. The guy, for as much as everybody wants to talk about Arch Manning not being able to process like an NFL quarterback yet, Marcel Reed leaves a lot of meat on the bone. A lot. They have really good receivers, as good as anybody. Great running backs, great offensive
Mm-hmm.
line. He will keep teams in the game, just missing shit. So it's interesting.
I mean, I agree with everything you said. I really don't have anything to add because it's exactly my takes too. The thing is, they could win even as much as a national championship with Marcel Reed if Their defense was what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not, and they're gonna have
I
to
agree.
score 30 points a game. They're gonna so if
I
they
agree.
were better than we thought they were and what we were predicting them to be, which they're just not. I'm starting to think they're not gonna ever get there. They do need him to do a little bit more than he's capable of doing, and he's not going to. So I think that they're still very elite, but I'm sorry. That's where the love for A&M runs out because I can't ignore that. The deep ball is fucking terrible. He's not a terrible decision maker, and he is getting better. I can see that part. But again, it's like if they needed to score 24 a game, it'd be like this team's gonna be really fucking hard to beat. But because of the defense struggling the way they've struggled, and I'm sorry, but it's not gonna get any better. You're gonna start getting beat up and losing some of your guys that you really need. I don't see it being an elite level team with that quarterback situation, that run defense. And again, with this week, man, I do think it's a terrible matchup for them. Now, this will tell us how good they really are, because if they handle them, then it's like, damn, all right, then now they're ready to go. Then they're certified because they played good teams, that are like, okay, good win. But this is a team that's as big as them, as strong as them, as athletic as them. And if they could show that they handle business and do it with ease, then it's like, nah, this team's and to be as consistent. Like, this is a game that, and frankly, the last couple games are games that A&M just fucks up. Have no reason to.
But see,
they're the better
that's
team,
another
and
thing,
they fuck it
dude.
up.
That's another thing where I'm kind of like, all right, settle down with all that, because they are doing victory laps over not dropping games to Auburn and Mississippi State, who are not good. Like, they're not good. And I don't really know that those are the games they fuck up. Like, they fuck up against your Florida. Like, yeah, they got a losing record. They're really good. When teams match A&M's talent, and in particular, I think if A&M loses this game, there will be a Colin Klein outrage, because my thing with Colin Klein is Colin Klein's scheme and his offense relies on them being able to bully you. Like, and the moment you can't, they will put up a 12 spot, a 14 spot. Like I see if they get over that, because I don't love Colin Klein's offense. I don't like that Kansas State bullshit. And Marcel Reed,
No, me either.
I agree on the improvement, but then again, like, he's not like Mike Vick as a runner either. He's good. You gotta account for him. But like he can't really
skinny as a
overcome.
fucking rail.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. And the matchups, if A&M loses this game, this is college football now, man. Styles make fights, in the SEC in particular.
Especially
Like,
in that league,
it's gonna be very hard to run the table ever again in the SEC. All right.
100% agree.
There's a couple other games. I don't really got anything else on it. Ohio State.
Look at
there's the guy.
You smoking cigars on Johnny's back porch?
Do you recognize
Look who it is, the producer that never was.
Huh?
It's the producer that never was, Shonee.
Are you in Georgetown right now, Papa?
I'm over here, John Boy.
They just got in town.
You know John Boy.
We should have recorded from Johnny's.
Now, who won last week?
We should have recorded from the back porch right there, but it looks like the Wi-Fi's struggling.
I'm in.
It does look like the Wi-Fi.
I'm in the back porch.
He does have the worst Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Anyways, but I'll do
great
my part
out there.
Have you boys made your picks yet?
I'm about to.
No, you just hopped on right before we got started.
Who's going first, Shonee?
Yeah.
Shoney's kicking us off.
All right.
Top of my card. I'm going to start with a good one at the very top. I'm going to go Missouri money line versus Alabama. And it's not like an anti-DeBoer thing. It's a matchup thing. Ahmad Hardy might be the best running back in the country. His stats reflect that he's up there. 730 yards and 9 touchdowns through the season so far. Listen, I think that they got over it from what we were talking about, pride stuff earlier. Just caring a little bit, that first game against Florida State, but I haven't forgotten them getting physically dominated. This Missouri team is physically dominant. Bo Prabula was the best quarterback Penn State had last year.
Let me ask you a question, Shonee. Now, I got Missouri also, but I'm going to take the 2.5. Now, you're taking them on the money line, right?
Yeah.
So, if they win straight out, you win, or how do we do that?
No, it'll both be wins. It's just record wise.
Yeah.
Just win the bet. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just win the bet.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, no, you're good. But Bo Prabula playing really good. Looks a lot better than what Penn State's got right now in Drew Aller. They might have screwed the pooch there. And that's kind of the tough NIL era right now. You can't no longer have a kid wait if the kid knows he's ready to go. And he transfers to Missouri. They look really good. And I feel like this this is a Missouri game 30 years in the making. Like they got their coach, they got their quarterback, they're undefeated. It's at home. Alabama's got a lot of hype. I think Alabama will play good. I think it'll come down to the wire. Give me the Tigers at home, Missouri to win that. Then I'm going to take not such a exciting game. Jacksonville State minus 7.5 against Houston State. Jacksonville State, consistently a good program. Sam Houston State sucks. I think this is one of those.
Yeah.
There's 160 spreads out there. They just kind of threw this one a touchdown. Probably should have been 3 touchdowns. Give me Jacksonville State, 7.5. Washington, minus 10.5 versus the Rutgers. I just think that Washington, I think they're a good team that ran into an Ohio State team that was just way too talented for them, but they still played as good as they could. I think they're well coached. I think they got a good offense. I don't think the Rutgers will be able to keep up with them. Washington minus 10.5. Got James Madison minus 17.5 versus UL. James Madison beat a very good Georgia State team last week. They're consistently really good. The cream of the crop in their conference. Minus UL sucks. They've only ever been all right when Billy Napier was there. Give me James Madison minus 17.5. And then last but not least, it's October. And all the narrative is, the Cox, they got all these ranked opponents this month. They're playing number 11, number 6, number 5. They're playing all the ranked teams in the SEC. You saw.
No, I did. Oh, there you go. You're good.
He's not
Yeah,
giving
you're
that
good.
one out.
I had a call. The Cox, though. It's
That was a sign.
Cocktober, and
That was a
don't
sign
wanna
you
play
better
the
flip
Cox in
right now.
Cocktober. No, it wasn't. That's adverse. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to play the Cox in Cocktober. Shane Beamer showed that in his press conference. He goes, if you don't want to play in the SEC, don't come here. When they asked him about how tough his schedule was moving forward, right? Plus 9.5,
that.
that's too many points to give a struggling offense, in my opinion, against South Carolina this week. So give me the points plus 9.5. I think they lose, but I think they cover. And that's it. That's my card.
Look at that. Doesn't that look good? That's my cigar.
Looks like dog shit.
It looks like a decaying tooth.
What the heck? What did you do? You just bit
Well, you
the
got
side
to chew
off?
on it a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Guess so.
It's too bad we weren't all
You
together.
just
I'd
bit a
give you
hole
boys
in the side of
I'd
it.
give you boys a chew.
Ah, goodness gracious.
All right, Nolan.
I'll have to burn one down with you tomorrow night when we come over. And he's done. All right, I'll go. We'll let Papa go last. And I'll start here. I got it was 8.5 when I saw it, so I'll give you the 9.5. That's where you got it at. I got 8.5. I got LSU. I just South Carolina's just not very good. And I agree. I did love Shane Beamer's press conference. I do think that they are gonna be weather the storm through this Cocktober. My thing is, you're looking way too ahead if you're talking about all this already. If everyone in the media, including the coach now, is acknowledging the road they got ahead and the players are talking about it enough for the coach to come out and say it, you got one game this week. So you got to be talking about, whatever, we got LSU. And so I liked the Shane Beamer. I liked what he said, but I didn't like the timing of it. I think you got to stay on, well, we're not playing all these teams this week. We're playing LSU this week. And he got a little over his skis. Sounds like the team's a little over their skis. And LSU's got a chip on their shoulder. And I'm not done with this LSU team just yet. The offense is definitely a little weird, and it's concerning me, but I think there's a lot of untapped potential still, and I think they come out Death Valley, coming off a bye week after a disappointing game, and they show it, and that spread worries the shit out of me, but I'm going to take the Tigers. I also love, and this is a rat line, I know it. I know it's a rat line, but I love Georgia minus 3.5. I don't give a shit, man. Hugh Freeze is going to get dominated by Kirby Smart. You could put whoever you want on that field. It can be a down year for Georgia and an up year for Auburn, but it isn't. It's a medium down year for Georgia and just another year of the same Auburn bullshit. So it scares me at Jordan Hare. That's a tough place to play. No big deal, but me and Charles Barkley watched the game together there. Again, it's no big deal, but that's a true story. And it's a tough place to play. And at the same time, Auburn sucks, and Georgia's going to roll them. Give me Georgia by at least 4. Come on. Next one, Arizona State plus 5.5. I'll never give up on this Sun Devil team. I love Levitt. I love their whole squad. Utah is this weird team that gets so much good PR for never doing a damn thing. From Vegas, from the media, Utah has no business. I don't give a shit if it's at home in front of a bunch of loser Mormons in Salt Lake City. I don't care. That doesn't make a shit for me. So Arizona State, which I believe they're coming off a bye as well, plus 5.5. They're going to win outright, but I'll take the points.
Sorry to all the Mormons listening out there. That was That was a
And
little
I am
bit.
sorry to the Mormons, but we could get into a theological debate later on if we really need to. I like this one, not popular at all. I like USC minus 2.5. Michigan, Sharon Moore, they need to relax a little. Okay, Sharon, come out here talking about we sold out the stadium because we're Michigan. Hey, buddy, your job it should not be yours. It should be Biff's. First point. Second off, who do you think you are? You're not anything special, especially compared to a USC team that I think has actually looked pretty decent this year. Now, look, they're nothing to write home about. They're nothing to write home about, but I watched the whole Illinois game. They should have won that game. Illinois got some things to break their way that was just kind of madness, and it was a sloppy, weird game. USC got completely screwed on a trick play that the refs screwed up and they just hadn't seen before and called it back that would have won them the game. And USC coming off a bye, Michigan not. That's always has me lighting up. So
you got to go
USC,
all the way out to y'all's territory,
all the
west
way out.
side, baby. All the way out to the west side.
To Papa's area on the west side and play a USC team that's been sitting around waiting for you to come in town. So USC minus 2.5. My last one, Kansas plus 14.5. They're playing on the road against Tech. Hey, guys, let's chill out on Texas Tech for a second. I mean, holy shit, man. They've looked good. And I watched the whole game last week. I had no choice. They looked good. And they dominated Houston, and honestly, they looked like shit and still dominated Houston.
That's why I like them. That's why I like them.
I know.
Because
you're absolutely right.
The best of the Big 12s.
They are. And I like them. And I like them to win by 10 or 12. Kansas is a talented team. Kansas gave Missouri everything they had and more, and it took a bullshit thing at the end of the game for Missouri to pull away and win. But Kansas is very talented, and I think that the talented teams, forget how they've executed and how they played, the talented teams are the ones that are going to push Tech to the absolute limit. So we'll see how that goes. It's just too many points. Everyone's too high on Tech. That's Shonee's son, Papa. Everyone's too high on Tech. And I think this is the week that Tech has a little come-to-earth moment. They're going to win, but it could be 3 points, could be 4 points, could be 7. They're not going to dominate this Kansas team. They're pretty damn good. And I still like Leipold a lot. So I got LSU, UGA, Arizona State, USC, Kansas, and I feel great. For what it's fucking worth.
Now, Shonee, who was that? Was
point?
that your
my nephew?
Your nephew. Okay. I was saying that better not be your
yeah, I don't have any of those yet.
Baby reveal.
Nolan,
that would be hilarious if you had a kid for like 3 years and just now broke it to everybody.
This time next year, Nolan's going to have one of those on his lap.
Oh, shit, Papa. We'll see about
that. I'm taking Missouri also. Shonee, you took Missouri, right? Yeah. I'm taking Missouri. I'm taking OU against UT. UT's got it.
I don't know why you had to pause.
Hold
for 3
on,
seconds after that.
Papa, you can't just fly into Austin this weekend. Papa, you can't fly into Austin this weekend and then bet on OU. It's just not.
That's what.
Not good juju for a gambler.
Wait a minute here. I got my gallery.
Your funeral.
My gallery's back here. All my women showed up.
God, no.
Yeah, tell them to cut the shit. We're trying to shoot a podcast over here.
All right. I'm taking A&M over Florida.
This feels personal, Papa.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't understand the passive-aggressive
That feels
pauses.
personal.
I don't understand the passive-aggressive pause after those last 2 picks. You made 2 picks and then stared us down
Look
for
at
3
here.
seconds.
You see all my...
That was direct.
All my women.
Shelby's representing. She knows what's up.
See that? You guys?
That's way
You got none of
He's
that.
got his gallery of ladies.
Okay,
I wouldn't leave my girl around Papa.
I got 2
I would
more.
not leave my girl around Papa. I'll tell you that.
I'm going to take Georgia over Auburn. Nolan, that you took them, right?
Yep.
And I'm taking Utah over Arizona State.
Oh, a lot of intersecting, aligned bets.
Let me tell
Got a
you
little
how
bit of everything.
Let me tell you how you figure out how we do this week. Just give me the 5 and subtract the ones you picked that are against me, and that'll give you your score. See how easy that is?
I'll tell you what, it is impressive how close we've managed to stay to each other for the last 5 weeks. It opened up a little wonky. Second week it got even, and it has just shuffled around but stayed within one game the entire time.
Yeah.
So I like where we're at right
Yeah.
now, and we're all battling. We're battling. I mean, like we always say.
And I'm
You
taking
can
the
pick
Giants.
games if you want it to
I'm
look
taking
pretty.
the Giants minus 6 runs over the Dodgers.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Hey, did you see Kershaw got shelled again?
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at this.
He's a disaster.
The Dodgers got the bases loaded.
Well, Papa, I know what I want to
Dude,
get
how
your
about
opinion on.
Kershaw being the worst playoff pitcher of all time? Like,
He's
to be one of the
horrific.
greatest pitchers ever, and to just be an all-time choker of the playoffs, still gonna walk away with as many World Series as Madison Bumgarner, who was great in the playoffs. So I don't know how much it matters, but
Nope.
nonetheless,
Nope.
does he have 2?
He's got 2. Bumgarner's got 3.
Right. So he's gonna walk away with as many World Series.
They
No.
aren't going to win this year.
No way. Not happening. They're not winning this year.
We need. They got the bases loaded, 2 outs right now. The Dodgers.
Come on, Phillies. Please, anybody.
The Phillies are
Anybody.
No,
ahead, 1-0.
absolutely not. With somebody
No, I
else.
didn't even realize
Somebody
that,
else.
Shonee. Now that you
Mookie-
said that, I
Mookie
cannot
Betts is
concede
up.
this
He can't
season
hit.
just yet.
Somebody else.
I cannot concede the season just yet because you're right. He would tie Bumgarner in World Series if he won this year, and that cannot. Obviously, he's not performed like Bumgarner did. He didn't have an MVP like Bumgarner did, but at the same
Bumgarner
time,
won the World Series for the Giants.
he started 2 games, went 2-0, and then closed Game 7
That-
and got the save.
that's
I mean,
gotta
it's
be
just
Shout
the-
out Bruce Bochy. You see, we whacked Bochy.
That's
I can't
got
believe
I
that
don't like that at
bullshit.
all.
That's
I don't
going to
like
be
that
the
at all.
all
I can't
time when
believe
he
it.
won that 7th game, huh?
It's the best of any player, positional pitcher, best World Series performance I've ever seen. It was as dominant as you could be.
Ohtani.
That and when he tried to
They
beat
walked
Puig's ass.
Ohtani to get to Betts. You think that was a good play?
Yeah, no
3
kidding.
and 2, 2 outs.
I love it.
Bases juiced.
Here we
See
go.
what happens, huh? Let's see what happens.
Papa,
And
what do you think about?
what?
I want to get Papa's opinion on
Walked?
Magic
They walked
Johnson's
him?
son.
Yep.
Walked him, huh?
Oh,
Tied
of
up
course they
now.
fucking did.
Bases are still loaded.
Handed to him.
All right, you guys. If you want to make some money, just bet on the ones I got. And the other,
Yeah, hey,
I think I
Papa,
said that before.
I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll tell you this in person. But you stay out of Sun City. All right. I know you like to creep over there when you come in town and go to the
going over
grocery
there.
stores.
I'm going over there to see if I can get
No.
a few picks, if you know what I mean.
You'll get more than a few picks. You're gonna catch something going over there. You
Oh,
be
right.
careful.
I hope so. Let me look and see. If
You're a freak. You're a sicko, Papa. You're sick.
Super freak.
Sick man.
A super freak.
okay, let's.
Oh,
This guy's not throwing.
hold on. I like this play-by-play.
Duran's not throwing.
Vince
hard
Scully
enough.
on the call.
100, 101. All right, I'm out of
What's
here,
Johnny?
you
I want
guys.
to
Good
hold on,
luck.
Papa.
All
Papa,
right,
wait, Papa.
All right.
Hold on. Don't jump off yet. Bring Johnny over.
John Boy.
This is the Nolan. So let's go over family reunion right here, baby.
Yeah.
Give them,
We got to
give
get
them
Johnny
your play
over.
of the week.
Get Johnny cameo. No, I want to hear his Thursday night football pick.
Oh, Thursday night football.
Giants.
That's easy.
Got to be the Giants.
He's already made the pick. Oregon.
No, tell him to.
No,
Quit being
the
camera
Giants?
shy. Tell him to come over and
He-
give us his pick.
He's playing Oregon on the college tomorrow. Oregon.
He's
Well,
got the
we
Giants
don't-
tonight, don't he?
Well, that's a loser. We don't care about that. Where is he?
He's over
We
here.
trying to give him a
Doing his
cameo here.
housework.
He ain't
He's doing
coming.
his
No, he
housework
ain't
right
coming.
now. He
Ah.
can't talk.
Oh God.
He's got
Oh,
who's
forget it.
playing tonight in the NFL?
If Eagles Giants 7.5, I think, or maybe it's 7.
Yeah, take the Eagles. Over.
I
Yeah.
don't know, Papa. Styles make fights.
No, Eagles
Styles
over.
make fights. That's a damn good D line for the Giants.
All right.
But you might be right.
Giants are about to
It
take
might
the
get
lead.
ugly.
Well, Shonee's back, so that's the end of the 7th. 1-1. All right, you guys. Have a
There you
good
go.
week.
Well,
All
huh?
right, Papa.
All right, I'll see you later.
I'll see you Friday night.
Manana.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, right?
Yes,
I'll be
tomorrow.
off around 3.
All
I'll come right over.
Okay, you guys.
All right.
And show some balls this week, huh?
We're going to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna
That's
fight. The
right.
Longhorns are gonna fight. We're gonna fight. We gotta get to Johnny Cuckball and the absolute ass he made of himself at that game. Just a total, which is what I mean. It's like there's not really much to say about it because it's like whatever if you didn't see any of the clips of the total asshole he was acting like the game, picture what you think he would be acting like, and that's exactly what it was. Just
Right.
the douchiest outfit, fucking Pavia jersey with Cartiers and a backwards hat, yelling at people in the crowd. Yeah, you wish you were me. Yeah,
No,
what? You got money?
and dude, no one does.
Nobody.
Especially those Alabama fans in their Sunday church best at Bryant
Bro, he's
Denny
getting
Stadium.
wined and dined by the
There
Nelk
is
boys.
not a single Alabama fan in the world that thinks that their life isn't better than Johnny Manziel's life. Like, there's
Their
no
life is
one,
way better. They're
dude.
paying $200,000 to live on a mansion on the fucking lake. Their life is incredible.
Not just that, we never talked about Pavia and that fan and people like going to Pavia's side on that. No, motherfucker, you're doing warm up knees. You've been on a shit talking fest for a year. And yeah, of
Dude,
course, an Alabama fan. I'll tell you, where's all that shit now,
fan.
boy? Where's all that shit now, boy? And
That is every fucking Alabama fan that's above 40 years old.
But you have that Vanderbilt staffer being like, "You're talking to kids. You're talking to kids." No, the fuck you're not.
Joe, shut the fuck up.
First off, I know they're just kids,
he
but
might be his age.
they're just 25-year-old kids. So like, Pavia is 30 years old. Like, what are we talking about? And
these guys are on TV shows.
They're making money. They're grown adults. They're not kids.
What the fuck are we talking about, bro? They're flying private. They're on TV shows. They're getting whatever they want everywhere they go. And he's 26 fucking years old. What do we? That was awesome. I actually forgot about the Bama fan. And they were trying to talk shit back to him. Like, he's just kidding. He's like, oh, fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Fucking pussy, just letting him have it. Like, bro, like, what?
And by the way, Pavia, you fucking suck. And you played like shit.
And you suck.
Just like he sucked against Texas last year. There was a close game. It shouldn't have been close. It was. There's a reason he's played 10 years of fucking college football. Like, and that offense can only beat you if you're down. Really, like you can't. It's just, I don't know. Everybody's glad that it happened. Johnny Manziel's such a cuck and a jackass, and like could go away forever. The Shay, that podcast is sad at this point. The fact that they have resorted to Johnny Manziel as like a weekly guest. Johnny Manziel is one of your weekly guests to talk about shit in college football. That's pitiful. That's really pitiful. He probably
sold one of the chains Drake gave him and paid them that to keep him on the show.
And I'm positive that like when Manziel was in the NFL and Shay was on the show with Skip Bayless, like he shit on Manziel more than anybody. Like how terrible.
Sure. I can't even imagine. I don't remember exactly, but I would imagine that would be a point of contention. And by the way, not for nothing, man. I gave 2 mortgage bets and they both fucking hit. Now they both were sweats. Miami wasn't until the very end. Bama took they scored that touchdown at the end of the game. They didn't even need to score, but thank God they did. And I mean, I went up huge last week, but thank God those 2 survived. I started to get real nervous.
I knew Vanderbilt would have their bitch ass keep it close as you can game plan. That's what they're going to do. Yep. So like they have 7-point losses that really like it's like you watch the game and it's like that was a 30-point loss.
Same with us against them last year.
Yes,
we beat their ass.
They cheeseball the fucking game up. They ruin it.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I don't think they play like this, but South Carolina, LSU, me taking South Carolina is more about thinking LSU's not going to score a bunch of points. And it'd be like 17-10.
South Carolina defense is bad, man.
I don't know. That LSU offense is fucking bad.
I know. It is a clash of the retards, so it's like,
I don't think it's ugly. I think they're young. I just think they have their hiccups. They're fast and fucking talented. They just got to.
Yeah.
But LSU, they can't run the ball and they can't fucking. I don't know.
It could be a complete stinker, yeah. Just an all-around, like, ugly game where whoever loses wins. The only thing, and you know what? I'll say this much, man. South Carolina damn sure got that game stolen from them last year. So that might have a thing. Now, they lost more players than I think anyone in the SEC, so it's like those guys really aren't around.
That's the thing about Oklahoma. Oklahoma's revenge is more for the fans than the 45 new football players on their team.
Yeah, right. That too. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I had, and we talked about it last pod, Miami's winning it all. And Cristobal is a fucking psycho. Cristobal is a psychopath. I didn't tap into Cristobal until recently because he's not the most, like, he's not interviews all over the place. I listened into he had an interview with PMT, so I listened into that because I wanted to see what I put a future on him. Of course, stupid asked me. I mean, what's the point now? And I think they're plus 350. I'd say whatever, but I had to do it anyways. And he's a lunatic. He's a legit, does not care about anything other than football and doing things the right way. Lunatic, has no fun, doesn't do hypotheticals, doesn't joke about Heisman, who could win. He does not give a shit about anything other than doing things the right way and doing them as hard as you
Yeah, he's
fucking can.
Cuban. She's Cuban. You know how the Cubans are.
I know. I mean, you got Joey Diaz. That's what I think of when I think Cuban, and he couldn't be. I mean, then again, he's a comedian. He's
It's
done
drug
900
drug
milligrams of
problem.
edibles and every other drug. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different trajectory that they both were
This is a
on from
Catholic
young
Cuban.
age.
This is like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
strong Catholic Cuban. I'll say
And the
this:
guy has no fun.
Saquon's getting it shoved up his ass right now against the Giants.
Oh shit,
And
that's right.
first try, Max the Dart scored a touchdown on their first try. They are face
No
fucking
shit, it's
this
7-0?
offensive line. 7-3. They held him to a field
I'm
goal.
such a fucker.
They
I
held
should
him
have
to a
bet
field
that
goal.
fucking money line.
Jalen Hurts is a trash stick, and then
Shit,
the
man.
Philly line's just not as good as it was. I think Abdul Carter finally got a fucking no. He's getting clamped. Yeah, he just get. But it was Brian Burns. Brian Burns got the set. Yeah, no, that dude. I was all over this too. If we did NFL, I would have had this pick all day.
I called it out. I said Giants money line. The group message.
They're
And my
playing-
stupid ass didn't fucking bet it.
They're playing good, the Giants. The dude, I might be pumping tires a little bit right now. Might be a prisoner of the moment, and that's probably likely. Who knows? We might be sitting here in December, and this might be a Giants-Cowboys race to the NFC East.
Shit, man.
Cowboys are gonna for sure.
Oh, the Cowboys. I'm not tripping about all that. No, but Washington. Hey,
Giants won this
Washington. When
game.
they get Jaden Daniels, they would look pretty damn good with that.
Jaden Daniels is really good, but I think that the best teams will run for 300 yards on that defense.
Yeah. Yeah, it did hurt when Hampton got not having Hampton for the Chargers. There was nothing in their tackles. There's nothing.
Yeah,
they
the
could do in that
Chargers
game.
have let me the fuck down. I got on that Charger hype train and shit. Well, but then both their
It
tackles
turned into
got-
the NFC.
both
The
their
East
tackles got
bitch.
hurt. Both their
Right.
tackles.
No,
got hurt.
and their star running back, who's compensating for their
Yeah.
tackles being hurt, he's out. So it's like
So there's
they
an
don't
asterisk.
have a great receiving core. They don't. So it's like there's not much going on over there right now. Yeah, I mean the Giants handled them in their fucking Jackson Dart's first ever start. It's like
Yeah.
I as well documented, I hammered the shit out of the Chargers that week, and yeah, it set me back.
Yeah.
Almost broke me, but then look at me. I bounced right back and kept throwing bombs, and I got up like 1,300 this week. Dropped back down to 1,000 because I put 300 on the fucking Chiefs, which I guess we didn't. No, we talked about it because we filmed on Tuesday. We talked about it briefly and just how stupid that dumbass touchdown by Trevor Lawrence was.
Yeah, it was
Horrible.
pretty sick. All right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, if you're if you're betting the goddamn Jags, but
Well,
I wasn't,
or
so
if you've been a Trevor Lawrence glazer through all the pain.
we have been a glazer through the storms. I had two more things written down. I guess I already touched on this. Kershaw sucks and is a pussy. Aaron Judge sucks and is a pussy and isn't good.
That's good.
That's our baseball talk. I've got really mad. I got on a complete mental breakdown. I saw people talking about how Aaron Judge is the best hitter that anyone's ever seen, and
Yeah.
look at how he turns on this 100.
I know,
Oh my
that's-
God! I started to lose it. I'm like, these motherfuckers, because man, I get
Yeah.
so mad when people
That's-
disrespect Barry Bonds. He's the most disrespected athlete of our generation. It's not even fucking close. And don't you dare tell me that Barry Bonds is on steroids and Aaron Judge is all natural. Yeah, that looks about natural. He's 6'8", 290 and runs a fucking. I mean, are we joking? Don't miss me with that bullshit. So that pissed me
they're
right
all
off. Thank
steroids.
God they're done for. So now our mission becomes anyone but the Dodgers, because I totally forgot. I was gonna give it to them and wave the white flag. They're gonna win it. Fuck them. They're gonna dominate. And when you said that thing about Kershaw winning his third, especially as a fucking, they might not throw his sorry ass back out there, and he's still gonna get the ring if they go win. So they can't. It's all hands on deck. Whoever can win it, win it. Other than the
Literally,
Dodgers.
Giants up 14-3. Giants are just mowing them over.
I don't know though. Should I take Philly live now?
No shot.
Giants.
No shot.
They're not gonna
They
fuck that
are-
up.
They can't run the ball at all. And no, the first 3 drives of the game, I'd
God,
say.
I'm so mad, man. How did I fucking not put that? I
But when
literally
are
called
people-
it midday.
When are fans gonna realize though, basically to become a professional athlete, you got to do steroids? It's not even
Yeah,
I
no
don't even
shit,
think it.
especially as a
I look at it
baseball
as a
player.
bad thing. I don't even look at it as a bad thing, but it's yeah, dude, they're all on performance enhancers of some sort. It's their life, and they got to be as
You
good
have
as they
to.
can be. And then there's always
especially
shit.
baseball.
there's shit that's legal for a while, then it'll get banned, and then you find the next thing and the next thing and the next. So it's like doesn't feel like steroids, but it is like everybody's on shit. They're all on shit.
They're on right. They're towing the line if they're not. And there's
Yeah.
shit now that's legal that should not be legal. It's like, come on, it's
Lane
so that
Johnson
whole
in year
steroid shit.
37 of the NFL has already popped
Yeah.
twice for steroids. You don't think he's still on shit? Fuck out of here.
That pisses me off so much that they're up 14-3, and I fucking sent in a lock of
Well,
the
they're
money
up
line
13
and
to 3.
didn't
They
take it
missed the
myself.
extra point.
And now I'm probably gonna end up taking Philly money line. It's gonna be it's gonna be too enticing, and it's gonna and they're not gonna win, and I'm gonna be so fucking mad. All right, let's watch some ball.
That's it.
See ya.